The Lagos State government is very concerned about awareness towards domestic violence. Details in just a moment. First, we'd like to remind you that all our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Do visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. We'd also like to urge you to please interact with the Eyewitness feature in the Channels TV app on the Android, iOS, and Windows platforms. If you have pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, tap the app on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and follow the instructions. We'd like to inform our esteemed viewers that some mischievous people have created a counterfeit Channels Television's Twitter account, posting content and information that we, as a credible and responsible media organization, will not disseminate. Our correspondent Victor Matthias talks about how to tell the real from the fake.
With a followership of over 2 million people across board and social media, Channels Television clearly stands tall amongst other news networks in sub-Saharan Africa. However, some fraudsters in trying to convert the name to numbers have created a parody Twitter account, sending tweets that do not represent the ideology of the multiple award-winning television station. And here is the difference between the original Channels TV account and the mirrored. Verification sign, number of followers, URL to website, date joined, and kind of tweets. Channels Television henceforth urges its followers to watch out for the verification sign beside the social media accounts, number of followers, and responsible posts from any of our social media platforms. From a gargantuan online location, Victor Matthias, Channels Television News.
And now in the southwestern part of the country, as part of objectives of creating awareness on gender-based violence, increasing victim safety and offender responsibility, the Lagos State government's domestic and sexual violence response team was at the University of Lagos orientation program to speak to about 7,000 students on how to stay safe on campus. The students' orientation was done in batches, and it afforded the domestic and sexual violence response team an opportunity to inform and educate them on the laws guiding sexual assault, how to avoid and prevent the assaults, and what to do in the event that an assault occurs. The students were also encouraged to stay alert and call the 112 hotline to report concerns or get support for sexual offenses.
As one of the objectives of the DVSRT is to create awareness about gender-based violence, rape and domestic violence, and we have received information about students being raped. It's one of the areas we know places where it happens. So we're here to create awareness about gender-based violence, but ultimately to let the students know that rape is real, and also that they can seek help, that there's help available, and more importantly to let them know that Lagos State government is taking the issue of rape seriously, and so they need to know their boundaries and know their limits, and where it does happen, please seek help immediately. So that's why the response team is here, and that's why I'm also here to create awareness in this in the campus here.
From the southwest to the north central, that is Benue State to be exact, misappropriate public funds and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission will come and get you. This warning is coming or going to political appointees is coming from the governor of Benue State, Mr. Samuel Otom. He gave the warning at the Government House, Makurdi, while swearing in Caretaker Committee Chairman for the 22 out of 23 local government areas of the state. The governor, who pledged to conduct local government's election in the second quarter of 2016, advised the appointees to serve the people of their local government areas. Speaking on behalf of the appointees, the caretaker chairman for Guma local government pledged support for the Otom administration and to work with the available resources.
I've not been to EFCC office, and I don't want to go there, and I don't want to be their guest, and I don't want anyone serving under me to be the guest of EFCC after your tenure. So you must be careful. Avoid quick money making. Follow due process. There are rules, guidelines that must be observed in dealing with finances. And keep your records so that it will protect you tomorrow. A word is enough for a wise man and woman. Now that there is no money, if you take the one that is available for your private pocket, well, you know what will happen to you.
And to the northern part of the country, the need to sustain the culture of consultations, dialogue and diplomacy in order to overcome Nigeria's diverse differences for peaceful existence is a task that must be shouldered by all Nigerians. The Kano State Governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, during the launching of the Nigerian Legion Support Fund, said the continued survival of Nigeria as a nation will ever be indebted to the armed forces who laid their lives to protect her territorial integrity. The governor wants all Nigerians to remember this and celebrate our armed forces.
Security threats which led to high-scale destruction of hundreds of thousands of mostly innocent human lives and properties in some states of the country, including Kano State, is a big challenge for all of us. This is a responsibility of us to continue to struggle for the maintenance of peace and prevention of violent armed hostilities and wars in our communities, states, and the country as a whole. We need to invite and sustain the culture of consultations, dialogue, and diplomacy to overcome our differences for peaceful coexistence. Peace is one of the highly revered national values which we must reverse, strive, and sustain.
Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje. As the federal government continues to liberate towns and villages in the northeast, the welfare of the residents is imperative, and the Minister of Interior, Abdulrahman Dambazau, is leading the Inspector General of Police and the heads of all paramilitary forces on an assessment tour of all the affected states. The intention is to map out ways to deploy civil authority to such liberated communities to make resettlement easy. Their first step, Benue State.
Adamawa, Benue and Yobe are the most affected states by the outlawed Boko Haram operating in the northeast of Nigeria. Benue State has, however, lost more territories than its sister states, with the terrorists sacking locals from 20 out of the 27 local councils in the state. The result is nearly 2 million displaced persons forced to live in makeshift camps within Maiduguri, the capital city. The Nigerian military says troops of the Operation Lafiya Dole have recaptured all lost territories. The Minister of Interior is in the state on one mission to liaise with relevant stakeholders and obtain first-hand information on the state of affairs, with a view to deploying civil authorities to the liberated towns.
We decided to come to this part of the country to carry out on-spot assessment, also confer with the various governors and also discuss with our commanders here on ground to see how we can articulate a strategy.
The state government stands with the minister on this.
At a point in time, the Civil Defense Corps was our major source of information in unmasking the Boko Haram. They were a major source of information. An honorable minister, it might interest you to know that the largest cache of weaponry made for the Boko Haram was intercepted by the Nigerian Immigration Service.
The Shehu Borno, custodian of traditional institution in the state, also has plans to open up abandoned communities for civilian habitation.
In Borno, we have 27 local governments. In fact, most of the local government are stationed right now in Maiduguri, including the emirs. We have 8 emirs here in Borno State. As of now, only 2 emirs are residing in their governments.
The team has been interacting with the internally displaced persons and inspecting facilities and personnel on ground. Issues of poor welfare and incentives are some of the concerns on ground.
And one of the fallouts of the insurgency in the northeast is the infamous kidnapping of over 200 schoolgirls from the Chibok Secondary School. And that matter still persists, as now over 115 parents of the kidnapped Chibok schoolgirls are marching through the streets of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, demanding that concerted efforts be made to rescue their children. The emotional parents say they are not pleased that their children have not been rescued, even after meeting with the president on June the 8th, 2015. One of the parents of the girls even collapsed during the march and had to be rushed to a nearby hospital for medical attention. Meanwhile, one of the conveners of the campaign group have asked the federal government to do all they can to ensure that the girls are rescued.
What happened to the statement made by the former Chief of Defense, Bade, that the military knew the location of our Chibok girls? What happened to that? What happened to what Governor Shatima said, that he knows that the Chibok girls are somewhere in a bunker and that the government needed to work with the right information to get them? How about the army captain that was on Channels Television just recently, saying clearly that our Chibok girls are somewhere in Sambisa forest? What happened to Ahmad Salkida, a journalist that used to work for Yusuf, who was the original founder of what mutated into this violent group? What happened to the support, the fact that they're saying they can help our government? We understand the restraint because of the challenges of the past, where some fake leads led to nowhere. But our government, this particular administration, must be seen to exhaust every measure possible. The word lack of credible intelligence makes you want to scream out.
Rescue of these girls by the authorities in charge. Now, News Across Nigeria is going to take a break, and when we come back, the Niger State Police and the coming elections there. Don't go away.